and it's me, my Mustafa. Finally, I'm back. I was away for a while now because I had to have my graduation exams, and fortunately, I had them. And now I finished college and officially graduated. It was a long journey for unnecessary education, but somehow I managed to graduate with really high score. Yeah, I had to study like hell. But there was a funny thing, which is we as students thought that because of coronavirus, we wouldn't have our exams and we would graduate without it, which was a naive thing to have in mind. And we prayed and prayed. And yes, prayed that there's no exams that year for us. And that's it. We just dumped ourselves for months. Of course, there would be exams and a lot of them, but we just thought the opposite. And then, out of the blue, the educational government set up our schedule, and we found that out. And just found that there is nothing else to do but study. And we studied like machines, like robots, until the exams finished. And those exams sucked our energy like vampires. And there was no way that I could make any new episodes with almost zero energy. I know it's a bit sad for the beginning, but well, I think it can happen. Now, after this 50-50 kind of happy and sad story, I went on a vacation, which is really a nice thing, with my family and came back. There is a lot of things to do, a lot of things to talk about. So, now, let's go into the topic, which is how education is sucks in different ways. Just kidding. The topic is how Egyptians specifically and Arabs generally meet their partners. Really, when I think about that, only one thing pops in my mind, which is the classical way. And I mean, yes, you're right, blind dates. We go on blind dates like other countries do, but with one major difference, which is we go with our parents or someone from our family. For you, that may sound really hilarious or crazy or something, but now you're gonna know something way different from your culture. So let's dive into it. You may wonder how the girl and the guy know about each other in the first place. As you know, there's different ways for that to happen. And let me highlight that. Whatever way both parties get to know each other with, the last step must be that the guy come to the girl's house, to propose to her father, to ask for his daughter, or someone from her family, like the guy asked the father's daughter's hand. Okay? Now, both the girl and the guy may know each other by someone who told the guy's family about the girl, and then they go as a family to meet the girl's family too. So it's two families meet each other, or maybe the guy is the girl's neighbor and he likes her and wanna marry her, or maybe they meet at work and they kinda like each other and he wanna marry her, or maybe an application on application like those for dating, or even on social media. Apparently, there are different ways to know the other person, but as far as I know, those are the ways that we here get to know each other. As I told you, that here in Egypt, the classical blind date that we go to with our parents, I know that you have a little bit confusion about it, so let me crack it into pieces. After both parties, or in that matter, families, meet each other and talk to each other for a bit, the elders leave. Yay, finally! I mean, all parents leave. And let the guy and the girl be alone to have a conversation with each other and maybe talk, maybe take a walk to get to know each other if they are in a public place. They can ask each other whatever question they want to ask, but without vulgarity. Be nice, play nice. And if they feel comfortable with each other, that is a good sign. And after a while, the elders come back to sit with the guy and the girl. So they come back and have maybe a little bit conversation about with each other, and then both families go back, everyone to his home. And after some days, if the guy liked the girl, he would call back her father and tell him that he wants to complete the proposal. And then the guy and his parents come to the girl's house and have a proper conversation and talk about some details. One of the subjects is about furniture, like who will pay for this, who will pay for that, furniture for the apartment the couple will live in after marriage. And it's after marriage. And another subject is about the gold. Guys here propose with gold, not silver. So they discuss how much the guy will pay for the girl. We here call it his gift for the girl. You may think it's extreme, but not really. Almost all girls' parents let the guy decide depending on his financial situation. So it's not a stable amount of gold. If he's rich, he offer or he decide to offer a fancy gift. If he's not rich, so he offer as much as he can afford. It's not that bad, right? Here is another good news if you ever want to marry an Egyptian girl or an Arabian girl. So you can rest assured knowing what you're going through. A lot of families now know that almost all guys have bad financial situation. So they don't focus much on how fancy the gift is, but they laser focus on how good the man is. So if he's a good man and they can entrust him with their daughter, they will accept him. If he's a bad guy, even if he's super rich, they will refuse him because they can't trust him. I hope it's crystal clear now. So if you love an Egyptian or Arabian girl, don't worry. Now, If the discussion goes smoothly, and upon all of that, the girl wanted the guy. Of course, you can't marry someone you dislike, right? Then they all read Surah Al-Fatiha, if they are Muslims, of course. And after a while, they have an engagement and then finally marriage. Yay! Woo! Congratulations! Now, let me highlight important points here. I will address it like one, two, three. So now let's begin with one. You maybe feel like the guy has the upper hand on the situation. Well, you're right and wrong. Right in the very beginning, in the first meeting ever, the two families meet each other. Because it's like a first date. You both decide if you're interested in the other person or not. Let's say if you did like him, but he didn't like you, he will not call back. He will not call back. And that's it, right? You will not ask for a second chance or beg him. Just you will see another man. That was what he had the upper hand on, and vice versa. If he did like you and you didn't like him, it's over. Still, you gonna say, next. 2. If the girl tells the man first she likes him and wanna have a relationship with him, like hang out, no intimacy, just hang out. Even if he likes her, he will lose respect for her. Like, she's already likes him, so for him it's like game over. There's no challenge. He may not like her anymore even, or take her like his doormate. But what can she do is to be smart and use her intelligence. 3. We don't have intimacy relationship before marriage. Just after we marry that one guy, for Muslims and Arabs in general. But if the girl had any intimate relationship with a guy without marriage, that means she's a bad woman and not even qualified to be a wife or a mother. And according to her religion, she will get punished. No offense, but it's how it works here. 4. Because most women have that passion, a love for the person she loves, and hopefully married to. And because of pregnancy issues, the fatherhood, who's the father of the baby? She can't marry another guy while she already married to another. But lucky for almost all men, they can, in terms of Islam, marry at most 4 women. So it's like a man have 4 wives. But before he get married over the first wife, his first wife, he needs to tell her about his thoughts about having another marriage. If she doesn't like it and he didn't change his mind, she can ask for divorce and both parties marry someone else. But if she is cool about her husband have a second wife, so hallelujah. Actually, the reason why I picked this topic to talk about is to answer some questions that some of you have in mind. So, hope that this was interesting and informative enough to answer your questions. But before we finish this episode, I want to say a word for all women and girls up there who listen to me right now. I want to say it's okay. You're beautiful as you are. You're shining as you are. So don't let whoever on earth make you think the opposite. You know how the moon invades your brightness? You may don't know that. I know the world is not fair. Even sometimes it's cruel. But it's not your fault. It's life and how it is. I want to tell you, don't seek other people's approval or acceptance. Don't try to please everyone but yourself. See, whatever you do, there is always someone who will be against you. So just ignore them. Don't try to change yourself for them, because whatever you do for them, they will not appreciate your efforts. So don't give a damn about them. If you ever want to change yourself, please, please change it for yourself, not for anyone else. You wanna lose weight? Fine, lose it for yourself. You wanna learn whatever language or whatever you want? Cool, learn it for yourself. Just for you and no one but you. Because if you go that mile for someone, that person may just play you and change you and charge you more changes and stand there and see how long you can go for him. And after you go all the way for him, he may leave you for someone who's not willing to go all the way in. So let him be the one goes all the way in just for you. And by the way, the guy will make anything for this kind of women who's not willing to give without taking. It's not a selfish thing, as they told you, to want to have a give and take relationship. Because relationships, like business, you take and give. It's just fair, right? Think about it. So, if that's the case, why not be one of those women? Why not seeing yourself as a worthy being who knows what she wants and what she doesn't, what she likes and what she doesn't, who has really high standards for herself and expect more and more from herself? See, it's better to have high standards for yourself because you can control yourself, but you can't control the world or other people. Be smart and take yourself to the next level. It's easier to think about your own success, not other people's success. It's easier to expect more and more from yourself than expect more from others. Think about it. Why expecting more from people who may betray you? Or just don't level up to your expectations. Why letting yourself go through heartbreaking when you can't prevent this from happening? Just just by stopping expecting much from people. Why don't you be a woman who stands for herself and speak up her mind? And most importantly, don't afraid of losing a man because she knows that his loss is more than her loss. Why don't you be more confident about yourself and who you are? Why don't you focus more on your career and improving yourself and skills? Why don't you put your happiness in your palm, not any man's palm? Why don't you link your happiness to your success and your achievements instead of link it to how many followers on Instagram or how many likes on Facebook? Isn't it much comfortable for you? Doesn't make you carefree? Doesn't it make your emotions more stable? And for your information, if you are this kind of women which I prefer to call bitches, if you are this bitch, you will be super attractive, super charming, and your beauty will cover all other women beauty with a veil, which make almost all men, including the men you want, crash on you and want to have you no matter what. Do you think that will happen because your beauty or your status? Maybe. But what I believe is that a man chase after this kind of bitches because he knows she'll shine his darkest days. She'll be the holy candle who'll illuminate his life when times get tough. He knows that even if he failed, she will give him strength and courage to start over again. He knows that she will encourage him to do the best he can and to be the best. He wanted this woman that will be the joker or the hitting card that he knows. He knows she will stand with him hand to hand when life is about to defeat him. He wanted this woman because he knows her very existence is his lottery. He knows that this woman will be the perfect mother of his children. So if you're listening to me right now, please try to be a woman who's not waiting for someone to like her or to accept her. You don't need a jerk in your life. Thanks, we don't need more jerks. Be a woman who's heading to her destination. A woman who knows where she's sailing, who knows her limits and just fine with him. And try to control what she can control. In other words, controls what in her hands. And what in her hands is her skills, her personality, her finances, her weight, her knowledge, and most of all, her spirituality. You know, life is so short to focus on unnecessary stuff. Life goes on without waiting for anyone. So, please, be your first priority and then anyone else. be your number one. You know, maybe not. I went on a blind date recently. It was one of those which we go with our parents. And I liked the guy and I felt he liked me back, but somehow nothing happened further. He never called back to tell my father he wanted to continue the proposal. So I thought it was a rejection. Actually, it was my first time to like a guy romantically, so it was somehow my first time to face that kind of emotions. Like, how can he reject me? By the way, I'm 22. So, when I thought about this, I felt like hell. It's my first time. I was frustrated and sad because I really, really wanted this guy to be my man. It would be nice. But life doesn't always give us what we want. And I think it has his own wisdom and God's will. And I went through those bad emotions for several days. I was asking myself, am I not beautiful enough? What did I do wrong? And all those questions that pop in our minds when we get rejections. But it's not your fault, it's not my fault. I was true. I was myself. I didn't pretend to be somebody else. But hello, it was my first time in my life to have the desire to have a serious relationship. Not to mention that in the Middle East, we girls marry in that range 18 to 23. Well, it's the ideal time to get married, but there is exceptions, of course, but that range is just in general. But even if it sounds simple, but for me, I felt like it was a big deal, which is not. But how I managed to shift my condition, it was really simple, but need persistency, which was focus on myself and to improve myself to be the best version I possibly can be. Now I wake up every day with that determination to do all the things on my to-do list. For example, reading, learning German, and practicing yoga, and do kickboxing and lifting weight, and to read more in English and to learn more and more. Because I know I can't change the fact that this guy isn't my man and will not be my future. But I can change what I am. And that is the important thing. I have an image for myself in my 30s, and I bet you have your own image for yourself in the future too. So let us from now on work on ourselves to get there. And in every step, be proud of yourself. Every one of us has her own dreams, which are very different than the other person, even if they are similar in some way. But overall, they are yours. So, you focus on how you can achieve them, and when you draw the plan, set the strategy, and put the deadline, and commit yourself to your dream. And only by committing yourself to your dreams, little by little, you will get close to them until you finally achieve them completely. And now here I am talking to you, which is one of my dreams, to tell you that you're one of the best precious things that ever happened to the world. You matters for me and for those who are really close to you. Your smile makes the day for almost everyone who sees it. So please don't blame yourself. What happened. Don't hurt yourself. Your existence matters for a lot of people, including me. And remember, after failure, there is success. After darkness, there is brightness. After sadness, there is happiness. After every end, there is a beginning. After today, there is tomorrow. You still can make your life a life you want to be. So never quit until you live your dreams. Now our episode come to the end. I hope you feel better now and got the motivation you want to make the change you want. You can come back here and listen to me talking to you and only you. Whenever you want, wherever you are, I'm here with you. Feel free to download or share or review this episode on Apple Podcast. Ask any question, say whatever you want to say to me. This episode is for you. Until next time. Peace.